now that I'm on the art trail, been for 4 years, that's what people like. They like to be brought out to the kiln room and talk about, you know, how much copper you put in glazes and how firing works. And what I've tried to do is like have a raku firing going on, and people can see that process. I think people like to go on the trail because they just like to, they see the process, the people's spaces. You know, people come, and the first thing I want to do is I want to show them my studio, and I want to demonstrate throwing, and I want to talk about clay, you know, gas firing, and that's what a lot of people like to go on the trail for. Talk to people and about their work, but also to see their work in action. But I'd like to do a firing just for the art trail. You know, people like mugs, it also travels well, and I like talking about the glazing of mugs and little bottles, but I also do some big, you know, raku pieces. You just never know what people are gonna gravitate to. I like making functional stuff. I like making bowls and platters and mugs, but sometimes larger sculptures are fun to look at. I do gas kill high fire, which is a lot higher temperature, and I do it in porcelain, and I do kinds of glazes that have a lot of copper in them and tin, which gives them the bright reds and the purples in what's known as a reduction fire. In other words, when the firing is at the hottest, there's not a lot of oxygen in the kiln, and it pulls that oxygen out of the chemicals like copper carbonate, and when it pulls that oxygen out, the fire does, it changes the colors. Well, raku firing is a style where you're firing it at low temperature, but when it's at the highest, you pull it out of the kiln, it's on fire, you put it in a trash can filled with newspaper and leaves and all this stuff, and a big ball of fire comes up, and then you put the trash can lid on, and that pulls the oxygen, it starves it of oxygen, and it changes the color around they're usually meant to go on somebody's shelves. And you get also the big white crackle, a glaze that has these big cracks in the glaze. It's so pretty. The raku firing takes about 2 hours, you know, but the high fire takes about 12 hours. And so you have to adjust the oxygen levels and the gas levels. Even the slightest bit is going to change the firing, and it's going to change the colors in the glaze, and where the pieces are in the kiln is going to change. For example, this piece and this piece have the same glaze, but this one is a different part of the kiln, and it's getting more oxygen, and the red is turning more white in spots. It's a lot of fun when you finally get a sense of control of what's happening in a real chaotic state inside a kiln. But whenever you fire, you mix up different variations of the glazes that you like, and you test them at different temperatures, at different thickness, to see how much they run, because sometimes they can run too much. They can run right off your pot. I love the color I'm getting here, but I had to deal with how much glass was in the glaze, how much silica was in the glaze. That tells us a lot, how much frit. And so one of my favorite things to do is just stick these little tiles in and keep a notebook about what the glazes are doing and where they're doing it and how they're working. I just love talking to people about their work. I love talking to people about the process. It's my best show of the year. I sell more things at art trails than any other place.